This is the Cats and Pudding Podcast. A melting pot of pudding. And now, here's Jen.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our episode of Cats and Pudding. And today, I have two great guests with me. I have Enigma, gorgeous Enigma, and I have his Majesty, Mr. Mike DePiro. He has a great show, great drag show, and we're going to talk to these beautiful people tonight about their venture and about their experience in their drag shows and about the performance. And we all know each other for a while, so this is really nice. I'm so glad you guys came all the way up here from Pennsylvania today to see me because you love me, and I love you too. And welcome. Welcome. So tell me, let's pick up where we left off. We were just talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Cats and Pudding podcast. You know what I mean? You are definitely the star. It's your reaction for me.
100%.
You like my reaction?
Well, as we're watching the show, the way that you interact with people is so funny. You just hit it, and like when you get a remark, and you have that ability to be like, okay. Yeah.
It's almost like one of those moments where like you don't know what to say. So then it cuts to you and you're like, yeah. And it's gold. Like it's comedy gold.
Okay.
I don't think you mean to be funny, which is what makes it even more funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the show, that you've been watching my episodes, and now you're here as my guest. So let's talk to you, Michael, and talk about your what do you call it? Like a cabaret or what
production,
do we call it? Production.
Yeah, production. So like we have been building a production studio now in a house for some time, and it started with the live event side, and we started producing these elevated drag show experiences. We wanted them to have like a different feel.
So it's not like your grandmother's drag show. This is like.
Well, this is your grandmother's drag show. You want to bring your grandmother to this drag show.
Okay.
You could actually.
So you can.
They're very, very family friendly.
This is a elevated experience, and we've created a very unique cast. And now we're expanding on that. We're now 3 years into what we've been building. Right. And now it's time to build bigger, build something even more unique. And that falls in the lines of, visual entertainment, media, web series, TV series. And that's the era that we're approaching now in 2024. And Enigma has been that standing image of, this is what we're creating and this is why we're creating it. And that's why we've, been coming on working with you over the last 2 years, like you've been on a few of our video shoots and stuff showing.
And they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have a good time.
We always have a good time. I mean, like walking into your office and screaming at you in Italian, I feel right at home.
Yeah, it's always kind of been about taking drag and putting it into places and spaces that you wouldn't typically expect it to be. So, partnering with you and being inside the med spa and having the procedures done and showing how that can help enhance an artist and someone being in front of the camera. But definitely our journey as a company, we started doing these small drag shows and like little rinky-dink bars, and they just grew because the mission and the goal was always to elevate it and bring it to that production level. So we come with that full-blown, we bring the glitz and the glam and the lights and the stage and all of that to bring you in, but the whole purpose is what we foster, and it's that environment of just coming into a safe place and space and sharing in that joy that we love, which is drag.
And how is your production? Like, what is it? First of all, how long? So if a typical production for you guys, like your show you did yesterday, it's not like a half an hour. It's like it's like a couple of hours.
The show yesterday was probably about 2.5 hours.
And what does that entail?
So people arrive, they order their drinks, order their food from the whatever venue we might be playing at. And then it all kicks off with the queens interacting and engaging with the audience a little bit.
Okay.
And then we kick off the show. We're very theatrical with how we go about our production and how we produce our shows. So Enigma always kicks off the show as she's the main host for most of them.
I do host probably 99% of our shows.
Okay.
And I think it's important to cultivate an experience from beginning to end. So when you see our marketing and you click click on the website to buy a ticket, you get to see the queens come up and you see all the fun colors and all of that, all the way until you finally meet me standing inside the restaurant. And it's just about getting to know where you're from. I always like to ask the audience who's traveling, is anyone from out of town, just like understanding where you're coming from and what made you choose to come here to spend time with me today. Because that's really important when you think about it.
Yeah, you want to know what people's, why they're coming, what kind of experience they're looking for.
Oh yeah, and like even in like some of the areas that we've performed in, you get people from out of the country who are seeing these types of shows for the first time, you know, like, and it's eye-opening to them. It's a whole new world,
right?
You know, and we're really trying to foster a safe space for queer artists and entrepreneurs and individuals to grow and prosper. You know, like it doesn't just stop at the, you know, drag show productions. It's film production, it's TV production, it's, you know, potentially taking young producers' thoughts and ideas and turning them into shows and finding them investors, finding them ways to actually work in this industry, you know, and we've been creating that environment now, and it's time to expand it and grow it. So coming on shows like this is a great way to talk about it and, you know, get people informed on what we have been fostering.
So you're doing the show. So now now you're saying the next step is to now go into, so what do you said you're building something. So what are you building?
So in Central PA, we are working to build a newly developed soundstage where film and TV can be shot. We're really trying to bring more multi-million-dollar productions to the area, as well as expanding on the live entertainment aspect of the production company, and really just strike something new, you know, strike new engagement in Pennsylvania, where we're from,
right?
You know, and create something that's going to be lasting and also economically beneficial.
Gotcha.
You know, and we want to work with everyone from everywhere, you know, so coming up to New York benefits working there, you know, going out to LA, going to London, all pulls in and benefits what our bigger vision is.
So what do you feel, so who is sponsoring this soundstage? I mean, is it already built? Is it something?
No, it's in the process of being built. We're in the works with talking with investors and getting those things in place. It's probably going to be another year until the actual physical soundstage is. We're starting with smaller studios and then expanding from there.
So where are you performing now? So on the sound stages?
So right now we're performing in tons of different venues. You want to talk about that?
We perform all over Pennsylvania. We've been down in Florida. Yeah. We're here in New York. Yeah. We get out to New Jersey. I've been in Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina. You know, we go as individual artists, we've gone to different places, and then as a production company, we've traveled as a group and we've toured. We've worked with some major chains, some of them that we will not mention.
Yeah.
We
give the camera the eye.
Yeah. But definitely Pennsylvania, because I was born and raised there in Lancaster. That is where I have cultivated my biggest fan base, and we kind of started there and then expanded out. So those surrounding areas like Harrisburg, Hershey, Philly, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Yes, of course.
We love Philly.
Philly.
We love Philly. Pittsburgh, we go down there to Pultra to do shows at Helen's store. You know, we have Pultra there, which is fun.
Of course.
Love Pultra.
We love Pultra.
We love Pultra. I think I'm wearing a little bit of Pultra somewhere under all of this, under all these layers.
It looks really good, whatever is from her. This whole strap is hers, right?
Yes, the strap, the
undergarment is hers.
You know.
She can't get undressed on
I
the
can't
show,
get undressed.
I mean, well, you can. We don't.
What kind of show is it? There was vodka.
We had vodka. We were cursing. We say whatever we want here. If you want to get naked, it's fine. We don't care as long as it's.
Honestly, I feel like it's easier to talk when you're naked because then you just get rid of all like the nerves. Like right now, I'm sitting here. I'm trying. My nails are on. I'm like, if I just had nothing,
right, then you'd be fine.
Nip to nip, then it's like
Well, they tell you when you public speak is to picture the audience naked, and you'll feel so much better. You won't feel that. You won't feel that tension when you're speaking to somebody.
When you're the producer and the director, you're just always sitting backstage and you're watching everyone's move, how their face is reacting. Last night, I actually just sat there and just listened to how they responded because I wanted to know, like, what do people first think? And as soon as the queens walk out of that gate, That's
So why is your production different from other? I mean, I know. I mean, I've been to drag shows, obviously, but what is it? What's the difference? Like, is it more like like you said,
it's
theatrical?
catered. It's a catered show, you know, like we work with a more consistent cast, which we are expanding on. We want to bring more outside queens to work with us.
How many are working with you right now?
Right now we have 5.
Okay.
Yes.
We have 5 contracted core divas, and then we have like a supporting cast which rotates out special guest spots in our shows.
Right.
Yeah.
So they'll come in when you have a spot open for them to, like, if you needed them to perform in the specific.
Yeah.
So
yeah, or even like sometimes our crowds are just so big that we know they're going to expect like a certain level of performance, and we're like, okay, we only have 5 on the roster. We need 6 or 7 this time, you know.
And
what's the biggest crowd you ever did?
Well, we have one in February coming up that's going to be about 1,500 people.
Wow.
We did one in Pittsburgh that was around 350.
That's probably close. That was probably one of our biggest ones.
We are continuing to grow and expand our network and how we're doing these performances. And, you know, like I said, it's a curated show that we are expanding on and figuring out how do we make it different? You know, how do we make it better? How do we drive new forces in? Like, we have a great cast right now of Enigma, Majesty, Hexa, Ashlyn Manhattan, Memphis Divine, all amazing queens, and we want to start expanding and working with other queens from New York and, you know, wherever we can pull from.
So when you have the show and you have everybody working together, you have the five queens working together. So are they doing the same choreography? Are they dressed similarly? Are they?
No, they're all very different.
So our shows have themes. So for example,
what I'm
yesterday
saying,
was like Frostbite. So everyone tried to be within that theme. So whether it's like wearing things that are icy, things that are shades of blue, things that are shades of silver, sparkly.
So you're keeping in the same color scheme, but you're doing everybody's doing their own different dance.
A
basically.
big popular one we have a flashback. So we'll do a show that's like 80s, which is always gonna sell out, and everyone loves the 80s.
Yeah, of course.
If you don't like
I'm an
the
80s. I'm an 80s. That's Generation X. We love the 80s. They're
Some of the best music.
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna love an 80s show.
Of course.
I like to go to other people's shows just to see what it is that they're doing that works, but also what are they not doing. And I'm like, okay, I see a gap in terms of the entertainment. I'm like, your audience needs to be engaged right at that moment of the show. So how can I add something in my show that you're not doing? Because if you have a gap, there must be one in mine.
What gaps have you found in other people's shows that you think all the time that you see?
The thing I see the most is engagement. Like talking to people, seeing the whites of their eyes and just getting to build up that rapport with them. People want to come back to like you said, you can find a drag queen anywhere. I'm in New York City. I could throw a nail and probably hit a drag queen in the hallway. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to give people a reason to come back. And I truly believe the one blessing that God has given us all, the one gift that is so unique is our personalities, our voice, the power that we have to connect with people. So we do a lot of games. We do a lot of just having interactive moments with the audience to make sure that we know them and that they know a little bit about us. So they learn a little bit about queer community, a little bit about drag queens specifically, a little bit about each artist and entertainer. So that way the next time they see a flyer come up and maybe they see 2 on the same date at the same time, they're going to say, I'm going to go to Enigma's show because she talks to me.
Do you post yourselves before and after? And that's something that would be different for people to see.
We do a lot of social media things like that, like transformations.
Yeah.
Often when I come up to you, I'll do the transformations because I like
the last
I like a
time
beard.
you were in my chair without your drag self, and then before when you were.
Yeah.
Well, that was a challenge. I think I showed up out of drag.
Yes, you showed up out of drag and then had to get into drag. And I did
Botox
and your
non-surgical
nose.
rhinoplasty.
Yes, and your lips.
Yep. And then I went into your bathroom.
And you went into full drag.
And got into full drag.
At 11 o'clock at night.
11 o'clock at night. Yes.
That
was fun. We're crazy. But that was a good shot. It was a good shoot because it showed your transformation in the aesthetic world, and then it showed your transformation in the drag world.
Precisely.
Which is cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool, like speaking to like the aesthetics, it's wild. how much power your product brings, like your brand and your company, like to someone like me who is an artist that suffered with a lot of insecurities, and the way you just like cured them with very simple, like holistic means is so impressive. You know, like my nose, you know, I know, girl, she's like, you know, I do.
I don't know if I would categorize them as holistic. I guess you can, because it does
we'll
heal. It does heal your persona. Like, and when people, I used to think my work was so frivolous, and when people come back and patients come back to me, women who've gone through breast cancer, women who are you know sick, men,
Right.
People from your community, and they say you've made me feel so much better. I'm more confident
That's
in
beautiful.
myself, and that makes me feel so happy that I actually made a difference in somebody's. I have quite a few transitioning patients,
and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it, because like every time that we come up to do a shoot with you, you know, you're you know, correcting things and doing things. You do your pinch and your poke here and there. You're an artist. You know, like
you are. You really
you're
are
an artist. You know, like you
I
have.
do agree
Thank
with
you.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a very accurate
You
way.
have such
You're
a
like my
unique
biggest
approach.
fans. What can I say?
We are. I'm always like Dr. Jed.
My biggest fans.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate
So
the
thank
compliments.
you too for what you do for us. You know,
Well,
we
I
appreciate it.
appreciate
Just our community in general. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I have a love for your community. So
Yeah. Oh,
I host
and we love you too,
a pride
girl.
party every year, and every year it gets better and better.
It
And
does.
you know, I have a, you know, it's you know, a piece of my heart. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, now, do you see yourself maybe doing some kind of reality show or anything like that? Has anybody approached you as far as that, or?
Personally, I would love to be on reality TV. Everybody knows about RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
And it is an amazing show. And I love the platform that it has built and the exposure that it has brought. I'm what you call a super fan.
Right.
So I watch RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, Thailand, Holland, Germany, France, UK, which is really good. Like I watch all the franchise spin-offs because I love the show so much. I personally don't know if I'm going to ever do that show because I don't necessarily like to compete all the time. Right. But I love watching it. I'm like, yes, and it inspires me.
It's not for everybody,
it's
the
not
constant
for everyone.
competition.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to have the work and the artistry.
But I do see a place for me in reality TV. I'm exploring that. I've had a couple conversations with people in the last few months trying to see where I could fit in. Because the drag for me, I express my art in that way, but I want that to not be the focus of why you are interacting with me or collaborating with me because I'm a drag queen. Like that should be like, you know, the last thing. It's because she's a comedian or she's an artist or she's a model or she's this or that, you know what I mean? So so I do see myself on reality TV.
100%. Yeah, and I pretty much am behind the scenes, so I'm probably most likely going to be creating the reality TV.
Gotcha.
I love the production and direction of it, and I've worked on, you know, several different projects, and you know, we have several different projects within our own production house that we are working towards right now.
Well, you've produced a couple movies.
I've produced a couple
Award-winning.
movies and currently producing a comic book series and video game series called Zara and the Thieves of Light. It just released.
It's so cool.
It is a very cool project. I'll show you. This is the cover
Wow.
of it. And
did you draw that?
So I wish I was
I wish
that
everybody could see this.
artistically.
Let's see if they
That's
could see it.
amazing.
I was gonna put it up to the camera. So this is pretty cool.
How do they
Yeah.
do it on like TikTok where they like hold it in front of the camera? You know what I mean? I don't know the internet. But yeah,
can't see
You
my
can see
face.
it. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's very cool.
So this is something that our production house rather is putting together and producing. This is just one of those many projects that we're working on, and the characters are a cast of queer characters as well. So like there is a deeper level and understanding to the entire series. It is available now. People can go out and purchase it from our production house. ZaraThievesOfLight.com. I'm just gonna plug that in
Plug
there.
that in there.
But that's a great example
Yeah.
of another one of the ways where we're just trying to support our queer community and uplift people in areas where you may not first think, like a queer artist, a queer movie maker, a queer comic book designer. You know, like those are things that you wouldn't necessarily expect queer people to need help with, like getting up on that platform and getting that kind of exposure. But with having that, the comic book, I think it's so cool. Are you a comic book nerd? Do you like superheroes?
I am not. I like superheroes, but I'm not a Marvel nut. I'm nothing like that. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. So you don't watch the Avengers? Like
I like Wonder Woman. I'll watch Wonder Woman.
You watch Wonder Woman?
Yeah, but I'm not a big. No, I don't love those big blockbusters. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like the big blockbuster movies like that because I feel like they're too commercial.
Okay,
I get that. I understand that.
To me, I guess I'm like more of the art part of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like that they're so commercial that that's probably why I don't really love it.
I have to tell you.
Even though I did love Star Wars. I mean,
everybody loves Star Wars.
Okay, so Star Wars is like,
amazing.
Star Wars is great.
Who doesn't love Star Wars?
I love Star Wars.
I love it.
Yeah.
I stand outside of movie theaters. I'm that person who will stand in line for
and watch
4 hours.
And to watch the Avengers?
To watch the Avengers.
To watch the
no
Avengers.
shame. I'll do it again in 2025. Kang Dynasty. Like, I will be there. I love superheroes. That's a big part of my childhood, but also my drag. When people like to describe me, they're like, you kind of look like a superhero.
You do.
You have like the Wonder Woman body. And I'm like, that's literally how I try to present myself.
Project yourself.
And Wonder Woman has those sides. She has her when she's in battle and her armor. And then she has when she's like sitting at the UN summit, you know, talking about climate change, which is very important. You know what I mean? So like superheroes are really big for me. It surprises me that you're not into them. You look like Wonder Woman.
You know what? I like I said, I love Wonder Woman. I used to love Linda Carter. I used to watch her. I used to watch her when I was a kid. I was like,
that was my show.
Yeah, I loved her. Yeah. She was the best Wonder Woman.
Ooh, did you ever watch Xena the Warrior Princess?
I watched Xena the Warrior Princess.
Lucy Lawless.
She's awesome.
She's
awesome.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. I like her. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big Avenger. I mean, I love Batman, but original Batman, not the dark DC Batman. I don't like.
So you don't like.
I like Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh, Michael Keaton. Okay.
I like that Batman. Like I like the corny one. That's funny. I like the Michael Keaton Batman. I kind of like George Clooney. I did like what's his name is Robin.
Do you like Christian Bale?
He
was
DC.
the Dark Knight Rises.
Yes, I'm not. I don't like the DC ones. I like the more like the more uplifting one. Yeah,
I'm Batman.
Yes,
that was horrifying.
I mean, I love Christian Bale. I love Christian Bale.
He's hot. He's very hot.
American Psycho was one of my favorite movies.
That's another good thing about going to see these superhero movies. I mean, who doesn't want to watch Chris Hemsworth on screen with those
I do like Spider-Man.
Okay,
so you like the scrawny ones.
I like Spider-Man too.
I need a little meat on my bone. Hello?
And I like the last one when they had all three of them.
Yeah, see, that was cool.
That was so
really
great.
cool.
They had Tobey Maguire. Then they had the other one.
You're literally trying to pretend you're not a nerd for the camera.
But she
literally is. She's like, I've never seen all of these movies that I just told you the whole plot line for.
My kids love Avengers. They love them. But I don't.
So you won't watch the team ups. You'll just watch the individual.
No, I like it separate. I don't. The whole Injustice bullshit. It's like
it's a lot to follow.
It's just a lot going on. But I like to separate. I still love. Listen, I love what's his name? Superman. He did the one who passed away. What's his name? Christopher Reeves.
Yes, he was amazing. He was amazing.
He was the best.
He was meant for that role.
Oh, he was. You know he was. And Lois Lane, I loved her. She was the best. She was a great Lois Lane.
Everyone needs their Lois.
Yes.
So you love the classics.
Yes, I love the classics.
So there is a root there.
He's the only one that was really. He was the only one who had the different identity. Did you know that? Like, Superman was one of the only superheroes who was born a superhero. He wasn't made a superhero. Oh. Think about that. He was born from Krypton, and he was a superhero.
Wait.
Right. He was born, and then his alternate ego was was Clark Kent.
Yes.
Everybody else, right, was Peter Parker was Spider-Man, but his alternate ego was Spider-Man. So it was reversed. So if you think about it, it's pretty cool.
Okay,
if you think about it that way, right?
It's funny because I've thought it's like
my brain. I've never thought it that way either. But I was like trying to follow, and I was like,
feel like unconsciously I've known that, but I've never really talked about it out loud.
Yeah,
It's never been put pieces.
Yeah.
The pieces have never put together.
Even
like that.
Wonder Woman wasn't born Wonder Woman. She was always an Amazon woman and always, but
Right.
She wasn't
Right.
even technically born. She was forged out of
Right.
clay.
Exactly. And then she
just gave her life
became
on the
Wonder
beach.
and
Yeah.
she became Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was just her alternate ego because she was
Right.
always she wasn't born, but Superman was the only one born a superhero.
She was always Diana Prince.
Yes.
Her mission was to be an embassy and
Right.
an envoy to the
Right.
world,
See?
not a superhero.
I
She
know
became-
I know the backstory.
Okay, see,
I know the backstory,
I'm
so-
inviting you to the next
I love
Dungeons and Dragons night.
I love it because it started out, like, she wasn't really into it, but then we pulled it out of her. And there it was
the
there.
The older ones.
Like everybody loves the Avengers. Well, maybe not the Avengers, but they love some of those movies. Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
We
like
found
like
it.
the separate.
Yeah.
So,
Separate ones.
so as far as your next show is like how many you have any, so you said you had one that's for 1,500 people. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's later.
Now, what are you guys doing for the summer? Are you going to think about touring and trying to get some other
Yes, so
venues going?
Summertime is Pride time, so we do a
Yep.
lot of shows in the month of June and July, revolving around Pride. Next year, we plan to do it like double overhaul, focusing a little bit more on a Pride tour that would last June and July. And expanding from there. So yeah, we definitely have plans on, building out a whole new show for next year in terms of summer
amazing.
shows. Yeah,
I love it.
it's a
We have Pride
nonstop.
with you next year.
Yes,
as well.
yes, we got
Yeah.
Pride with you.
You better come because this year is going to be, every year it's been bigger and
Oh,
better.
Okay,
so
so we need to talk about it.
I know.
We need
I
to talk
am
about it. Okay, so
upset you didn't come.
here's what happened. I didn't come to Pride this year.
No.
Yeah.
I know. I'm a bad
And this
gay.
year was
Well, we had a
amazing.
show.
I
I
heard.
know.
No, it wasn't a
amazing.
show. I'm gonna tell the
No,
truth.
it was
What was it?
amazing this year.
It
And
was
this
the 9 to 5. I started a 9 to 5.
She did.
And the man wouldn't let me out. He wouldn't give me off. And then you know what happened when they found out who you were and who the kind of people that were at the party, they were like, "Well, why didn't you just go?" I'm like, "Because you said I would lose my job."
So why didn't you
Happy
say?
Pride.
Yeah.
So
Happy
I missed
Pride.
it. So I was not. I missed it, but it wasn't my own choice. I will be here next year.
Okay,
I will be
that's
here.
it. So you have no. You have to come. this
Darn orthopedics.
year. Well, I'm so glad you guys came on the show today, and I
Yes.
appreciate you guys coming in to see me. And I love
Yes, of
that
course.
you always drive up to see me though. Anyway.
Yes.
Oh,
we
yeah.
will always make the journey.
I know
for
you always make the journey.
We
for
make
me.
the
Yeah.
drive, we make the climb.
we'll do the crawl, girl. We'll
Yeah.
do the crawl if we have to.
Gonna have to start
And we'll
swimming,
have
maybe.
to, we'll have to watch maybe I'll watch Avengers with you next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you a ticket. I'm going to bring
Okay.
you.
All right. So
Yeah.
the next movie that comes
Should be
out,
next
I'm gonna
big
come with you.
premiere, we're
Next
gonna
big
take
premiere,
her.
we're gonna go.
Yeah.
I'll go with
Right.
you and see if you can get
I'll
me
make
on.
you dress up and everything.
I'll totally dress up.
Oh
You
yeah.
know
Hell
that.
yeah.
I love
I'll
it.
do your makeup.
When I used to go to Disney World, I used to dress up as Jasmine all the time.
Oh, she would cosplay.
totally,
Okay, so she would cosplay.
Totally
Oh,
cosplay.
yeah.
Cute.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
I have all my kids dressed up as a princess, and I would dress up as Jasmine because of course
I love
we
it.
would, yeah. So it was good. So I have no problem dressing up. I do Wonder Woman.
Perfect.
You would do Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I would
Okay,
like
we
to
would
do
be
Wonder Woman.
fighting, but okay.
All right, but you know
No,
what?
no, you do Wonder
But you
Woman.
I could do Linda Evans Wonder Woman. You could do like what's her name?
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. Yeah, you
She's
could do it.
amazing.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we,
love
we
Gal
could
Gadot.
do a different
You
version.
look like her.
Thank you. I don't. Thank you. I don't feel like I look like her, and she's so beautiful.
These
but-
are those memeable moments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna have a bunch of memes moments. As I
gonna make them
continue to
for
do
you,
this
girl.
show.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's Jen's.
I sit there at night with my
Because you don't know if it's because
blood
I'm
and my,
awkward
and
or
my
I don't know what
MacBook,
to
and I'm
say
like,
or I want to say something and I don't know if I'm going to offend. Not that I would say something to offend you or to offend them by saying
Yeah.
oh, I don't think I
but
can
it's
be
okay.
offended.
No,
No.
you can't be
You got to
offended.
try to offend me.
Really
Yeah,
chop
it's kinda
at that
hard.
tree.
Really-
Yeah.
It's like effort. You have to really be
I
a
have to be-
pro insulter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
good at insulting, but I have no reason to insult you.
Yeah, no,
And I don't think you would ever give me a reason to insult
I don't
you.
want to give you one.
No.
I don't want to be
At
on
least
the
not
end
today.
of that.
No, it's not this moment.
Not today, not tomorrow,
Yeah.
not for me. I do not want. I've heard you yell.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't want any of
Yes.
that. I'll let
Yes.
Jeff.
My
take
kids
the
call
brunt
me
of that.
Eva Braun. Yeah, I get like that.
he
Yeah,
can
it's
have
pretty
all
bad.
that.
It's pretty bad. Well, I am so happy you both came in to see me, and I
Yes.
love you both. And
We
thank
love
you
you.
for coming
We love
in.
you,
Do you have
Jen.
anything else you want to tell people? Do you have anything else coming up? Give them your website so that they can see what you...
So our website is depirosdivas.com. You can find all of our upcoming shows, events, and things there. Our Instagram is DePiro_divas. And it's DEPIRO. That's how you spell DePiro.
Yep. And you can find me on Instagram at the Queen Enigma. That's THE Queen Enigma. Learn how to spell. Yeah. That's all.
Everybody have a great day, and please watch my whole video, not just the shorts, on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. You better watch me. Have a great day.